Alright? So as he say, as Esau Edom says, right? I have removed the bounds of the people and I have robbed their treasures, which we just read in Proverbs 21 and 6. Alright? I have robbed the treasures, I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Right? And my hand had found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. Alright? Have I gathered all the earth. Right? So when you go back, when you go to this is the scriptures identifying Esau to a T. Alright? When you go to Habakkuk, when you go to Habakkuk 2 and 5, it reads, yea also, Habakkuk 2 and 5, yea also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Alright, neither keepeth at home. He goes into all these nations, alright, set up central banks throughout all these nations to give them a false currency, alright, give them fiat dollars, alright, and take their true riches, which is the gold and the silver, and heap it unto himself. Because he knows what is true riches, what is true money. He knows what is true money, the so-called white man. Alright? Continuing. Whose enlarging it is desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, as we read here in Isaiah 10. Alright? Alright? And 14, where he said, and as one gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. Alright? Have I gathered all the earth. He has the whole world into his hands. By his policies and all these things, you know. And most importantly, setting up his military bases and what have you. Alright? To stamp the residue of the people who would ever think of coming up against him. That is why the scripture say, who can make war with the beast? Who could? Alright? Alright? Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long? Right? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So when you're going into thick, in that word thick clay, alright, thick clay.
Strong's H 5671, avteet.
Alright, abteet. Alright, thick clay. When you go into it, alright, it means weight of pleasures, heavy debts. Because because what you gotta understand is, as I said, this currency, these FRNs, these Federal Reserve notes that we are spending, alright, this currency, right, the world currency is a debt-based currency. I would explain to the ones who do not know. You see, what your government does not tell you, number one, is that they do not own the central banks. Number one, they do not own the central banks. Number two, they have no say within the central banks. Right? Number three, the people has no say concerning the central banks. What they do is give you an illusion that they control the central bank, that they control the money and what have you. No. The central bank is controlled by the elites. Alright? What takes place with this whole monetary system is a whole Ponzi scheme, number one. Alright? Go and do your research on Ponzi scheme. Let's look at the other day we had a Ponzi scheme going on throughout the whole place, throughout the whole country with their group business, and you bring a group. Oh, you all know what I'm talking about now. I can't explain it too much because I didn't even have time for that bag of shit. Alright? But what is going on is this here is that your government, they goes to the elites. Alright? And they borrow the money, and they borrow the money on a very heavy interest rate. Alright? They borrow that money on a very, very, very heavy interest rate. And the only way that bill could be cleared is by the people, the so-called taxpayers. Alright? That's why they before you can even get paid, alright, they tax you. Alright? They make sure and tax you and what have you. Good? So that will go towards clearing the debt. But the thing is, you have to understand this. The government constantly borrows money from these elites, from these bankers, from the IMF and what have you. Alright? So by them constantly borrowing money, alright, these elites just printing money out of thin air, printing money out of nothing to give to your government, your respective government, alright, on a very high interest rate to pay back. Alright, on a constant basis. The debt keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and there is nowhere in sight for you to see the end of this debt being cleared. Alright? So by you having such a high debt and these elites constantly printing money, right? Where there is so much money in circulation, too much money in circulation, and on top of that it is not backed by nothing. In case if it crashes, it has something to lean on to. What does it cause? It causes hyperinflation. Alright? Because you're done in debt, you're constantly borrowing, and on top of that, there's so much money in circulation. Right? The elite just keep on printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. No end in sight. So what is going to happen? The dollar eventually it is going to crash, because a lot in these countries, all right. Right now the US dollar is about to crash. Yeah, the US dollar is about to crash. All right, because they made their dollar on top of the food chain, all right, the world reserve currency. They made their dollar as the world reserve currency, and by they doing that, all right, it becomes high in demand. So what was started to become it back by no gold. They stopped back it by gold since Nixon back in the 70s. All right. So you have money just printing out of nowhere, all right, to supply the demand of these other countries, because they have to do commerce in the US dollar, especially where oil is concerned also too. They have to buy oil with the US dollar. But the thing about it is now is that a lot in the countries, they are dumping the dollar. All right. A lot in these countries, they are dumping the dollar, and and reverting back to their own currency to do business. So when the US dollar crash, what is going to happen to the world economy? It is going to fall, and it is going to fall very hard, especially Trinidad, because our dollar is a US backed dollar. However the US dollar fluctuates is however the TT dollar fluctuates. The US dollar is backed by nothing. So if the US dollar, as always say, the US dollar is backed by nothing and the TT dollar is backed by the US dollar, what does that have to say to you concerning your own dollar when the US dollar comes to a crash and halt? And you see, it is all by design, because the elites want that to happen. Reason being they want this economy to come to a crash and halt is because they want to do what? They want to microchip every single man, woman and child upon the face of the earth. Alright, let me see if I can type up a scripture here. Alright, let me see if I can get a scripture. Okay, so I'm in Ecclesiastes. Alright. Alright, Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Alright. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Just bear with me as I go to it. After Proverbs is Ecclesiastes. Alright, Ecclesiastes 7 and 12, it reads, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense." Alright, wisdom is a defense. Defense of what? Is a defense of you being able to maneuver when these troubling times come about. Alright? And money is a defense. Alright? But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth to life to them that have it. Alright? But the thing is, what is the money? That is the thing. What is the money? Not this paper note that these banksters fool the whole world with. Alright? And give you this fiat note. Alright, and tell you, well, this is what we're going to be using. Alright, whilst in the back and behind the curtains, they hoarding away the true money, which is gold and silver. Alright, they have trillions of dollars worth in gold in the Bank of England and in the Swiss banks and what have you, in Fort Knox and what have you. Alright? Gold that they stole. Alright? Just the other day, this guy from next door, Chavez. Alright? Not Chavez, Salakia, Maduro. Alright? Just the other day, Maduro asked for something like about what? They had like Venezuela had like what, about $6 billion worth in gold in the Bank of England, and he asked for it to try and alleviate the problem, alleviate the situation that his people, his country is in right now, and he was denied access to that gold. Alright? Under the excuse that he's a dictator and the goal is for the people and this and that and the other and the other and the other. Hey, you fucking devils. We know you hoard that up for yourself. But the thing is, what the scripture say, he is going to cough that back up. Alright? Yahweh Hashem Yahshua say what the gold and the silver are mine, and we the children of Israel are his. So which is what? The gold and the silver and all that is stole They went all over into Africa, all over the world. All over the world, stealing gold and stealing silver and what have you, and hoarding it up. Alright? And giving people this fake piece of shit, plastic, and printing numbers on it. Alright? And to give it whatever value it have of it. Alright? Fooling the people. Yeah? Whilst you having everything for yourself. Yeah? Given people this debt-based currency because you want this whole bubble to burst so that you can come with something new now. Yeah, you can come with something new now. Alright? To give to the people and say, well, alright, this is a new currency now. Digital, we're going digital now. Forget about the paper, forget about the plastic. You're going digital now. Your money is literally inside of you now. Yeah? And the thing is, we told you so-called Negroes that. We told you Israelites that. Now everything is coming into play. Everything is coming into everything shaping up now. You're actually seeing the form now. You're literally seeing the form of the situation that you're blindly walking into. Alright? You're literally seeing it. Right now you can't go nowhere unless you take that antidote. You know, you can't get a walk unless you get the antidote. Alright? The whole answer, Makal. Just yesterday I get to understand the line of work that I do. Any officer who wants to who are to work in any answer Makal building, you have to take that antidote. Alright? And the antidote now is the precursor for the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Because that's what this whole thing is about, you know. Everything is gradualism, alright, and conditioning, as others always say. Alright? To lead you and walk you into the mark of the beast. Right? We told you all that a lot of people is going to be losing jobs. Because everything that we're saying is we getting it from here. We getting it from right here. Right here we getting it from. And giving it to you. But you all refuse. When you go to it's 12 and 3. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, it reads, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. Wait, where's that? Where the grinders cease. No work. No work for you to do. Alright, no work for you to go to. Just now I and all ain't going to have a job to go to. Which I'll be very much happy. Unlike 2/3 in you all who will be all sorrowful and what have you. Because you're going to be like, how I go eat? How I go see about my children? How I go this? How I go that? Nigga, here ain't your flipping rest. So I going to be happy. Because I know coming off Yahushua, Hamashiach, it's getting even more closer for the elect. Alright? More closer for the elect sake. Alright? Where the grinding shall cease. Alright? Where the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Alright? Which is what these business places closing down. A lot in these business, you know much business, much people who are the business, who are the small, the micro business and what have you, gone out of business because of this whole pandemic situation. Alright? And the back to what? The back to square one. You know how many? You know how many of them? Alright? And it is going to go on an even higher scale, as it is say, it's going to go off the Richter scale. It's literally going to go off the Richter scale, because this situation that they bring in here, when I see that economy crashes, when you see that economy crash, come to a crashing halt, and you can't access your money unless you take that antidote and that RFID microchip, then you all will come to the realization of what was being spoken to you by the Hebrew Israelites. Alright? Because it is going to be total mayhem, total chaos. It is going to be a lot of chaotic scenes taking place. No money. Here you have right now, oh Lord, well, I want to say the famine, help me here, food shortages, Salakia. Alright? Where these groceries and whatnot out there, alright? These groceries and whatnot, these food outlets and whatnot, they're under serious food shortages. Alright? You have a lot of these farmers, alright, being paid top dollar, more than what the crops actually worth, for them to do what? To destroy the crops. To do what? To bring in the famine. All that is by design. As the scripture says, they sleep not unless they what? Unless they do mischief, you know, except they do mischief. All these things is by design. Alright, to bring in that famine and what have you. And you all just, a lot of you all, you know, you just choose to do listen. You just choose to be in your own flipping bubble. But it's alright. It's not a problem. It will just be you to catch in that day. Alright? If you feel, well, you can figure out this thing by yourself, alright? However you feel you could figure it out and work around it, it will just be you to catch in that day. We told you all concerning all these things, you know, this, especially this RFID chip. Alright? And this just goes to show how crafty it is. You know, this just goes to show how crafty Esau Edom is. They're not, hey, this is what the scripture say in Daniel. I will go to that just now. I'll go to that Daniel just now. Let me just finish back up. As a matter of fact, let me go to Daniel, and then I'll come back to the scripture. Daniel, not Daniel, Ezekiel Salakia. Look, I twisted with these elites. Alright? Alright, this is Ezekiel 28 and 3. It reads, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. Alright? There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Why there is no secret? Let me go to Psalms and then I will come back. Let me go to Psalm 64. Matter of fact, I will do it in my blue letter because there is something else I want to read it in the KJV and also in the NLT because I have it parallel. The book of Psalms 64. Alright, Psalm 64. Alright. Psalm 64 and Psalm 64 and 6, it reads, a matter of fact, I'll read from 5. Psalm 64 and 5, it reads, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. All these things what they're doing here is evil, is evil matters, they conspiring. Alright? All these things is evilness that they conspiring and bringing upon the people. Alright, this hellish condition, this dystopian nightmare that they're bringing upon the people. Yeah? They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Alright? They commune of laying snares privily. And that scripture just come to my head. Let me see how quick I will juggle these scriptures here through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Going right back to Revelation. Is Revelation what? Well, let me see if I can get it in my old Bible here. Because I have it highlighted in my old Bible here. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Alright, this is Revelation 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, right? And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, and with which deceived them that had received. Alright, which deceived them that had deceived. Alright, that deception, that snare where you read here, alright, in Psalm 64 and 5, right, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily, alright, and that snare goes into what? The RFID microchip, that trap, alright. That snare, right now, it done starting with the antidote. A lot of people they fall into that trap and go in and take that antidote. Alright, that is a trap. That is a snare. The word snare goes into trap. Alright? Alright, and that he had Salakia and wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them, right, that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. Alright, they both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone, which is what? Thermal nuclear fire. Alright, because America is going to be destroyed by over 200 million thermal nuclear missiles. Alright, so when they come back here, alright, they commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Alright, they think kill them there that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua not seeing them. Alright? Kill them there, you know. They getting away with everything that they do. Alright? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Alright? That's why, you know, you can't hide nothing from them. Alright? And with everything that they do is by design. Alright? They search out everything. They find comb teeth everything. Alright? Right? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yeah, the mind. They think these, hey, don't get twisted with these people, boy. These people ain't stupid, boy. Everything is by design. What them do, they think deep. When you 213, you Jakes thinking on a shallow freaking level, hey, these people way beyond that. Look at the technological advancement that they have now. Yeah? Just imagine they literally have a microchip, alright? And deceive you that is going to be a new money and what have you, identity and all that shit. But the deception goes even deeper. Alright? The deception goes even deeper. This thing is made to what? To literally control you. Alright? This thing here is to literally bring you into freaking, along with the antidote and what have you. It's to turn you into a literal cyborg. I say, you know, you tutor jigs just on a low level. This is the wickedness of the so-called white man. This is what they all about. They all about wickedness, you know. They all literally just about wickedness. Alright? They are the border of wickedness. I will get our scripture in a bit. Alright? They are the border of wickedness. Alright? the so-called white man. But the thing is, there's only so far he could go. They think that they're going to get their new world order. Yeah, but it's only so far they could go. Yahweh make sure and put a boundary that that they cannot pass. Because pretty soon he's coming back to do what? To destroy. He ain't coming back to share no lollipop and pala and doubles and no. He came back to kill. To kill 2/3 of you Israelites first. Right? And then to kill the rest of heathen nations and whatever remain of them, to put them into slavery. That's what he's coming for. So you wouldn't get your new world order. Alright? It speaks about it in Job, let me see, Job 20. Job 20 and I think from all 20, let me see. Alright? No. Alright, I will read from alright, I will read from verse 18. Although I could read from all. I'll read from verse 12. This is Job 20 and 12. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, alright? Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat is in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asp within him. Alright? Because when he really started to get his crown jewel, which is that new, to get to chip everybody, to chip every single man, woman, and child upon the face of the earth, and things that he finally get to achieve his accomplishments. Alright? He knows for a fact that, hey, this ain't gonna last, because it have somebody coming to put me down, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and the 144,000 men. Alright? Continuing, he had swallowed down riches, which is what? The very said gold and silver, which is true riches. Not them fiat freaking currency. Alright? That paper and plastic shit that you call money, which is going to fall, which is going to come to a knot. Alright? Alright? He had swallowed down riches, he shall vomit them up again. How is he going to vomit it up again? All them gold and what have